Hello everybody, so I have here something that just came on the mail, and this guy right here is the worst nightmare for Xtool F1 Ultra. This is the laser Pecker 5. So let's see what is in the box, and I want to talk to you a little bit of what I learned so far with this laser, some things that I'm going to be testing and doing comparisons between Xtool F1 Ultra and laser Pecker 5. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's open this box. So it's a really well-packed laser, as many others. First thing, we have a user manual, full color, well explained apparently. So we'll dig into it. We have some mystery thing here. We have the base plate, and as you can see, the working area is definitely smaller than Xtool, but this is actually a good thing, and I'll explain later why. So we have a little AC cord here. Set of glasses or goggles. This is an adapter. I'm gonna guess that is for the back of the shield. I'm gonna put it here. Here is a hose. It's not as rigid as the hose that usually we get with Xtool, but I actually prefer these ones. I'm gonna move this a little bit away here without making stuff fall there. We have an USB cable. We have a power adapter. A little box with tools. Stick foam. We have the column or neck. We have an interesting box. This one is all taped for some reason, but it seems to be stuffed. So probably these are sample materials. We have here the shield. This is the shield. It has a little cable here for the fan, and also has this magnetic, I think. Oh no, it's just put in place, and yeah, that has some magnets up, yeah, on the top and the bottom. This is actually nice. So we have the shield, and we have the main unit. So it has plenty of ventilation. You can actually see all the way through, and there is a fan in there. There's some more ventilation here. Compared to the older version, this doesn't have a screen. I'm not sure. This is the only light on the front, and two big inlets for air. You have your main screw that goes on the tower, and you have a little say drag to remove, which is just pull this out. So let's see how this is. So just to recap, we have the shield for the unit. So basically this unit will sit there. So you have a little shield. So let's put the unit here for now. The column has 2 buttons to do the focus on this, little USB on the side. It has also a lock on this part that I guess is going to ensure that this doesn't move. So let's start with the mystery box. This box is all taped, so seems to have something interesting. So let's see if we have something to open the box. So as I suspect, here is a couple, seems that they have some old school USB adapters. This is like the key. Like Xtool has a little dongle on the back, so this is the same thing. We have, I want to guess, is their software and some other information. We have a flash drive. We have a little cloth to clean your lens. Here you go. Some screws here, and we have some tools. So I'm going to use this one that seems to be a 1.5 millimeter to puncture the tape and open it. Usually I have a knife, but this is going to work just fine. Just open it here. I mean, someone took care of closing this box very well. No idea why, but we'll see. This is actually the cutting mat or cutting surface. So this has a really tiny slots. So let's see how this one works. So this is probably the maximum area and just a little bit more, but let's do it there. There's nothing else on this box. I'm gonna put it on the side. Okay, so then we have here an AC cord. Now it's kind of curious that they send the cord on a whole box. Usually comes with a power adapter, so must be something for packing more than anything, but it's a nice touch. The box on the side, so we have the cord. So some goggles. Let's see the goggles really quick. Nothing fancy. It's just a regular orange goggles. These are always a must. They come very handy to have around. I have like 10 of those. Let's see this. So USB cable. Now this is actually very interesting. Compared to other lasers on the same category, something that I'm noticing right now, these are definitely M3 aluminum, but these are made of some sort of plastic, maybe a polycarbonate or something like that. They're not metal, looks like it, but they're actually plastic. So we'll see how they last with a laser. Overall, we have the power adapter. It's actually pretty big. So there's the power adapter, nothing fancy. This is a 24 volts, 7.5 amp, and 180 watts. So nothing crazy. So this is basically it. Let's pull those boxes out. So on your tool boxes, actually you have the dividers that come with the box, even they're not being used. So you still have the dividers. You can use it for other stuff. You have the little cloth there, some screws, and I'm gonna guess that these screws are the ones that we are going to use to put this machine together. So let's do that. So we have 4 screws. They're all the same. They all are these all are M4. We have 5 screws of that. And it comes with 3 Allen wrenches. That's everything in this box. So let's put this on the side. I know I should be grabbing the user manual and reading it, but I think this is pretty straightforward. So it's a nice unit here. So this will go like so. There's not much science on this, so let's do that. Something like this. So we have the base. We have the base here, and again you will see here at the bottom there's a little square. So this square should align with this, so you can actually put the screw in. Let's see if the screw goes in. There it is. And that's all. That's all it takes is a couple minutes adjustment. Let's make sure that that's tight. And there it is. That's all you have to do with the laser to put it to work. Now the next thing that you are going to probably check is on the back of this machine. So let me move this camera so you can see exactly what we're going to be doing right now and testing, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so if you remember, I was mentioning these things that are like the dongle that we get on the Xtool machine. So it's exactly the same thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna install it, and you see here there is a couple icons, and it's very interesting because they went completely different route that Xtool. Xtool is using a proprietary connector that incapacitates anyone to do stuff really. But the only one that is, I will say, proprietary and is actually all mini USB is the dongle. So we can put the dongle here. That's there. Then we have a USB-C for your computer. These are USB 3.0 and this is a regular USB. There is nothing else. So for the regular USB is the one that you are going to use, for example, with apparently the flash drive. So you can use a flash drive as a memory for the laser, I guess. Then you have 2 cables, a long USB to USB-C, and then you have this USB-C to USB as well, that is a little bit shorter. So I want to use the short one and I'm going to show you what it is. So we're going to connect here, as you can see. Now all these are outputs, power outputs basically. So I'm going to connect that one there, and one of these will go automatically to the column because you want to have this power, this motor that you want to power. So other than that, now it's time to connect this to a computer. Before connecting to the computer, I want to see what is in the mystery box. So let's look at this. What I suspected. We have a piece of TPU leather. Let's see what else. That's why it was so heavy. We have some keychains there. Then let's see. All right, we have, this is neat, 4 brass coins, and they're nice though. They're nice brass coins, not like super cheap. We have a slate coaster. We have a cork coaster. This is the interesting one. We have a piece and it's a little rough on the edges, to be honest. You can actually cut yourself with this, so be careful when you open it. This is a piece of steel, and this is a really thick one. This is like 2 millimeters piece of stainless steel, which is very interesting. You have basswood. This is a 3 millimeters basswood. We have some sheets of something. I'm gonna say it's some sort of plastic of something that definitely is laser safe, I guess. I'm gonna hope. More basswood, and this one is another piece of aluminum. This is aluminum, so probably these ones are the same business card aluminum. Oh yeah, this is aluminum for business card, but look at the size of this thing. So they really gave you a nice piece, and this one is aluminum as well, but this is a 2 millimeters aluminum sheet, so this is a lot stronger, of course. So let's put this sample material on the side, and let's bring the computer and turn this baby on to see what it's all about. And most than anything, I want to see this with the infrared or the fiber 20 watts. So be right back. Okay, so we're gonna start with the installation. So here you'll see there is a computer icon, so that's where we are going to use our longer cable, and we are going to plug this in. And I'm gonna do the installation of the software on a Mac. That's where I'm going to be using this laser for a while. So the next thing they're gonna do is I'm going to connect power. So now that we have power and also we have our USB connected, we will be starting with the engraving. I'm gonna make a little change on the range, especially because I feel like this is a little bit better. I don't like much how this goes there, because there is not really like a good way to put it. You put it here, you can't use these two, and you put it on the side, it's kind of like a weight too much. So the laser is basically initializing by itself, even though I haven't turned it on. And you will see it there. I'm gonna take this out just to be sure. This is the automatic focus that I'm just pressing the button to move it up and down. In this case, I want to move it down. So now that this is moving down, we'll see. So if you long press the button, it will keep going down by itself until you press the button again. That is a nice feature to have. So let's install the software. So immediately I have an issue. I want to put it on my Mac, but I guess I can't. So I need to find an adapter. So we have the software downloaded and installed on the Mac, and this is what we see right when we open it. So I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna see really quick what we see. So settings, about laser picker, notice, file, and there is an option to set a new file. So I don't see where I can see my machine connected to it. I see the option from Laser Pecker Design Space. What I'm gonna be seeing here is no device connected. So I'm gonna click on device, and it's going to look for this via Bluetooth and USB and Wi-Fi. So there is multiple options. So I'm gonna try with a USB first. It doesn't see the device, maybe because I'm not using the original cable. I'll try to turn it off. So the laser is right now connecting to our Mac. So we have it here, we have the name of this, and there is a little gear. There is a firmware upgrade, so we're gonna run the firmware upgrade on that. So let's go with firmware upgrade. So there is no more information, that only fix known bugs. So let's do that. So upgrade fail. Let's configure the Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi is not really working. So I gotta dig more into the software. I'm gonna know a couple things that I found interesting. Number one, when you connect the power, the unit basically starts immediately. I haven't seen anything really that tells me on and off, which is really weird. Number one. Number two, they have an emergency stop on the top. When you press it, you will see this in red, that it's an emergency stop, and then blue is ready again. On the left, the circle with the dot is the preview mode. Then you have a pause. That should be the pause and start. So I want to dig a little bit more into the user manual and see how everything works. Look into the software. Okay, so I got an error when I was doing the firmware upgrade, but after I restart the machine and I opened the software again, I noticed that my firmware in fact was upgraded to the latest version. So that's a weird message on their software, but it did work. The second problem that I was having was it didn't find my Wi-Fi, and every time I tried to refresh to look for the Wi-Fi is available, it didn't find anything and just show a little exclamation mark like there is a Wi-Fi error. So what I did, because it gave me the options to do it manually, is I put my Wi-Fi name and my password manually and actually connect to the Wi-Fi, and now I have no cable connected to the Mac. So that's another win. Now, there is something that I found very odd, and it might be just me, but this is the preview button. This is the pause and resume your job button. You have a light on the front that tells you the status of your laser and the emergency button. Then you have a light that indicates power on the neck or the column. Then you have the down and up button. And on the back we have USB connectors, the key, and power. There is no on and off switch. When you put power and you connect the machine, automatically start the fan going. So there's not really a on and off button, which I found very, very odd. If someone knows how to do it, put the comments below. I haven't found an option. The user manual doesn't say anything about it. It's a really interesting issue. So, Laser Pecker 5. Definitely the area is a lot smaller than Xtool Creative Space on the software, and of course you see that reflected on the base plate. That is not a bad thing. For example, I use on my fiber laser, which is a 50-watt JPT, a lens for 100 millimeters, which is roughly the same size of the F1. So I don't think that's a bad thing. If you really want to get the most of the power out of the 20 watt, you need a field lens that is concentric on a small area. So far, a couple weird things that I found. There is no power off button, so the laser fan is always going until you unplug the power. That is something weird. Maybe I didn't find a combination how to turn it off, but I'll keep looking into that. The software, it will take a little bit for me to get used to the software. I mostly use Lightburn. I know I can put it for Lightburn as well, but I want to try to give it a try on the software. And we have the jig adapter for the plate, so you can put all our jigs on the Laser Pecker 5. So if you like the content, if you like what you see, you want to put a comment, I will always respond to your comments as fast as I can. Just keep sending us information of things that you want to see, things you want to learn. We will try to make the content for you. Especially don't forget to subscribe, like, put on the bell so you can get the latest updates. And as usual, fire the laser.